Hi, welcome to Solo Playing Tips. So this one's all about the weather in your games. And often I'll think about the weather, say once a day. The character wakes up, what's the weather like? Set the weather, often using a hex flower, and that's it. And that's fine. When you get into especially urban adventures, this kind of affected urban adventures more than fantasy. In an urban adventure, you generally don't go out with a backpack with everything you own in it. You might start out the day in jeans and t-shirt because it's nice. If there then was an icy squall and freezing rain, natural or otherwise, that hits your character, at that point they're only wearing a t-shirt and jeans, and they're going to get soaked through. Later on, if for whatever reason they get dragged off into a nearby park or woods or national park and dumped there, they're now wet, cold at night. And suddenly that icy squall that hit them in the morning is a major problem at 2 o'clock the following morning when they're out in exposed to the environment. So it's especially in these kind of urban things where the clothes you set out in are the clothes you've got for the day unless you go back and change. Um, then weather actually becomes much more important. There's a phrase something like "There's no such thing as bad weather. There's only inappropriate clothing," and our characters will often be in inappropriate clothing, which means weather can become much more significant. Maybe the healing rules in the game you're playing might kind of have to say that, to heal, you have to be rested. And to be honest, if you're cold and wet and exposed to the elements, you will not be rested. So it starts to kind of feed into the game mechanics of the game but also social interactions. If you've been out on a hillside all night in the wrong clothing, when you turn up to you know, a shop or gas station or something the following morning, you are going to look awful. You are going to look homeless. You are going to look, you know, um, in trouble, basically. So it's going to interact with a social level, interact with the game mechanics, and it's going to shape your character's attitudes as well. So yeah, it's you know, really worth bearing in mind the weather, either being excessively hot or excessively cold, or wet is going to change the decisions you're going to make at one point and have repercussions later. Okay, so yeah, that's the idea this week. Thank you for watching.